Okay, so again, this is the original, and here's the new one. So what we've done, we have whitened the teeth. We have increased the jawline, so we've made it a little bit squarer, and we've increased the cheekbones. We have made the eyes a little bit wider. We have gotten rid of the smile, the little lines under her eyes. We've gotten rid of those. Okay. We have smoothed out the highlight on her forehead and her cheeks and her chin. We have smoothed out all blemishes, including freckles. Okay. We've made her neck skinnier, right? Skinnier neck. And did this one have the tooth fix? Now this one here, I didn't do it this year, but in the past, I've also made her lip here cover her tooth and straighten the tooth, okay? So these ones are there's just some teeth whitening. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hide all these spots. Now I'm gonna show you actually all of our edits. I'm gonna bring back all the edits except for the extra tooth. Get rid of the extra tooth there. Okay. The goal with any edit of a portrait, this is an absolute must, is make the person look like the person they're trying to project. Okay. So I never try to look feminine. It's not something I attempt to do. However, my daughter braids my hair often. I currently have pink toenails. My daughter braids my beard, and I get unicorn hair clips often. It's not something I pursue. So if someone's going to take a photograph of me, they'd go, okay, this person is not projecting a feminine, but they're projecting a masculine look, even though I do have fantastic hair. Okay. Bring it on, ladies. I got great hair. There's a lot more gray in my hair, by the way, than you guys would think. So that's what my subject wants. That's why I'm going to edit them. If my subject wants to project a feminine look, okay, then I want to emphasize the femininity of the look they're after. So if there's makeup, if there's trimmed eyebrows, and they're very feminine in what they're putting out there, that's how you want to edit your model, okay? Now, there are men for photos who do have manicured eyebrows, who do wear a little bit of foundation, but they're still trying to put out masculine. So the goal is, what is my model trying to project, and how do I emphasize that look, okay? I do not want Jordan to look masculine because Jordan wants to look feminine. So that's where I'm going to go. And that's one of those things in photography, you are the professional, but you're not the client. So I've had a lot of interesting photos that I've had to take where it's like, this is how I want it to look. I've got to serve my clientele, not my opinion. So that's one of those things in photography that gets kind of tricky. I've got a friend, when he edits his photos for dance, he's like, I feel bad. I'm making all these women more skinny, but that's what the company wants. And so that is tricky. He feels bad about it. He's like, they look good as they are, but he's kind of perpetuating an idea, but that's what he's paid to do. All right, here's all the edits. Ready? Boop. That's all the painting that has happened for this picture. It's very interesting, right? So painted lips to make them redder, nose, forehead, all that stuff. Okay? Boom. So let's get rid of all those. I'm going to do all of it. I'm not going to edit this as intensely as I would normally. Okay, so there we go. So there is the original face. Okay, I'm going to duplicate it so we can manipulate this here. Hit OK. All right. There it is. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do, always, so follow these steps. Image, adjustments, or image, auto tone. Okay, my auto tone toned it green. I don't like that. So I'm going to do it. First thing I always do is image auto tone, image auto contrast. All right, auto contrast looks good. There wasn't a whole lot. Okay. So image auto contrast. I just made the background a little bit darker. So now the first and easiest thing that we can do is just clean up skin. Okay. To clean up skin, now I like pores. Whenever I work on a model, I want to keep skin texture because it's skin. A lot of people will, especially senior photos, they'll smooth you out so much you don't even have pores. It's unpleasant looking. So I like to keep pores on my models. Now we're not going to do the advanced version of this. We're going to do the simpler version. So if I right click, here's the Band-Aid tool. Okay, let me just check the chat real quick. So I call this the Band-Aid tool because it's a picture of a Band-Aid. It's not a Band-Aid tool. It's called the Healing Brush tool. The symbol is a Band-Aid. Okay, mostly because Band-Aid's a brand name and you can't call it that. So we call it the Healing Brush. It is the Healing Brush tool. I will say Band-Aid tool. There are two kinds: Spot Healing Brush and Healing Brush. Spot Healing Brush does this. If I look at the top, I have Content Aware, Create Texture, Proximity Match. Now, I'm going to do Content Aware. What does this computer think should be behind this blemish? Skin. What about behind this mole? Skin with pores. What about this little mole here? Skin with pores. Okay. Now watch this. I'm going to use that same tool for skin. I'm going to use that same tool for this truck. So here we go. Okay. I'm going to grab the Band-Aid tool, Healing Brush tool, crank it up. So I just want to follow the shape of this vehicle here. I'm going to do Content Aware, and here we go. Goodbye, truck. Now, where this is going to get tricky, I might accidentally make an extra ear, and I don't want to do an extra ear. I want just what would be behind this. So I got to try to get as close as I can to the truck. Oh, what are we doing? No, 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 no. My mouse freaked out, guys. Gosh dang it. Not want that to happen. All this here. Boop. Now it's got to think. So it got rid of the truck, which is great, but we have this repetition here, and I have an extra shoulder. I don't want an extra shoulder. I want background. So the reason I drew that line through there, I wanted to calculate what should have been behind it, which was just some white. Okay. Now I need to do some more work over here, but just using the Band-Aid tool, there's a lot less truck. Now I need to go through here, see how we've got the same light duplicated, not good. We've kind of got this repetition here and here. I need to do a little bit of work. I'm going to go through and attach some sidewalk and some other colors. I could also make it all very, very bright like this. That would make sense. I can do that same work right over here by our neck. I'm not going to do that now because this is about faces, but always work the background. Okay, that's important. Back over here. Okay. Band-Aid Healing Brush tool. Too big. All right, so I'm just going to go through and start looking for all these little details. One thing you guys didn't notice, watch this, eyebrow. We're going to make extra eyebrow, by the way. There is an eyebrow brush tool for Photoshop, but I am not going to use it. Okay, so that is the Spot Healing Brush tool. If I right-click, grab the Healing Brush tool, I'm going to say I want the skin from this part of her cheek over this right here. So watch this. I'm going to hold Alt, select that skin, and I'm going to use that skin to eliminate blemishes. Okay, I typically use the Spot Healing Brush tool. I don't know what they're called in Pixlr. I think they're a healing brush. I don't know if they're a spot healing brush or not. Okay, so that's pretty simple. I can also, if I really want to get dialed in here, grab the Healing Brush tool. Jordan, if you're watching this video, you're lovely. Okay, thank you for letting me use your face. Okay, I'm just going to go through and find those blemishes. And if you're like, oh my gosh, someone has blemishes. Yeah, so do you, y'all. So do you. Okay, so I'm just going through and slowly getting rid of those blemishes. I'm not going to go through and knock out all of them because we only have so much time. Okay. just like that. So
Wait, mister, with what tool do you do that?
that is the healing brush tool. Healing brush. Looks like a little Band-Aid. Okay?
Okay.
So now, oh, dang it. I was doing that on the wrong one. No, I wasn't. I was doing it on the right one. Good. Now I want to liquefy this. So I'm going to go filter, liquefy. Now, in other tools, it might not be under filter. It might just be, I think in Pixlr, some wavy lines is a tool. In Photoshop, it's under filter. I don't think it's under filter in Pixlr. Liquefy. Okay. There's a face. Now I can click the face tool. Okay. So I have a great laptop. To do this really well, you need a really, really great desktop with a graphics card. So we're going to get as close as we can. Now I can go through and use the face tool, eyes. Actually, oh, it's not going to let me at all. It's locked out. Cool. So I've got to go through and do some reprogramming on my computer, which is super annoying, but that's okay. I don't like to use this anyways. So I'm going to not use the face tool. I'm just going to use the regular tools. Filter. Liquefy. Thinking. All right, brush tool right here. So I can change, obviously, the size of my brush. All right, so there's the liquefy tool. I can manipulate my image, okay? Now, obviously, I don't want to do that. That's not what I'm after. I need a much smaller brush. So I'm going to shrink it down. That is what we call the warp tool. There is a reconstruct tool, which fixes the weird stuff I just did. There's a smooth tool. There's a twirl clockwise tool. There's a pucker tool. There's a bloat tool. And there's a push left tool. Okay? And then there's masks and things like that. We're going to go simple. So I'm going to use the warp tool. So I'm going to use the warp tool to do a couple things. I want to bring in her cheek just a little bit, just to kind of square up her jaw. Now, if I do this wrong, it's going to look strange. I have to be really, really consistent and very, very mild in this. Okay? I'm going to push this in just ever so slightly to increase her cheekbone. Push this in just ever so slightly to increase her cheekbone. Okay, like that. We're going to slim her nose. Now, I don't think she needs to slim her nose, but for demonstration's sake, we're going to slim her nose a little bit. Okay. We're going to bring up her smile just ever so slightly. Okay. Here. And then I'm going to make a larger brush here and just make her neck ever so slightly skinnier. Yep. So those are all those little adjustments we've made there. Okay. Now I want to make her lips a little fuller. So I went ahead, grabbed the bloat tool, make the brush a little bit bigger. Okay. That is too much. So to make that smaller. That is way too much still. So you see here, I'm going through, I'm just clicking to make her lips look a little bit fuller. Okay. Nope. So again, there's the lips there. Just a little bit fuller. Now, as for eyes, I could use the bloat tool and give her bigger eyes. One click. I typically try to put the cursor right on the pupil. One click. So slightly larger eyes there. And that's about it. I don't want to go crazy with the Liquify tool. Now, I had a young lady years ago. She had her senior photos done. She's like, oh, I don't like how big my arm looks. She went through and liquefied everything on her arm to make it look a little skinnier. But she had a blurry background, so it worked out. If you do this with like bricks in the background, you will see mistakes. So for example, watch this. See how I'm bending reality? You don't want to bend reality. Make sure you guys don't mess up the background. All right, I'm gonna hit OK. There we go. So we went ahead, we did our Liquify tool. Okay, so if I show you, here's the original, right? We did skin healing and Liquify tool. Now, for the other parts, guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and make a single layer here. Layer. New layer. Color paint. Okay. Actually, I'm going to do a couple of other things. So I said I was going to use a tool called the patch tool. So I'm going to get close here. This is a great tool for bags under the eyes. If you're like, well, that is not a nice thing to say, Mr. Riggins. Anytime we edit faces, we can offend people pretty quickly. So just keep that in mind. We want to be as gracious as possible and as clear as possible. So it's kind of tough. So this doesn't bother me, right? These eyeballs don't bother me. However, I want to push the limit of my model here. So I'm going to grab the Band-Aid tool, right click. I'm going to grab the patch tool. Now, I don't know if Pixlr has this. I think GIMP does. And all I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to select the bottom, this little puffiness right here, this shadow. And I'm going to say, blend it with this skin. There you go. Okay, it's that easy. So it just got rid of that shadow, but still maintained the shadow of the eyeball. Okay, same story over here. I'm going to go ahead, select this here. Just like that. Grab that skin there. There it is. Not as good as I want it to be, so I'm going to go ahead, grab the healing brush tool, Alt, right there. Just gonna smooth it out a little bit. Okay. Let's right click, fit on screen. There we go. So original, new. Okay. Not bad. Now, let's see here. Now we're gonna go ahead and do some painting. So I'm gonna click on this paint layer here. I'm gonna grab, I want to just increase the redness in her lips. So I'm going to grab this tool here, the eyedropper tool. I'm going to select her lip color here. And then I'm going to simply increase the red. We're going to increase it a little bit more. So I'm up here. Oh, you can't see it. Boom, I'm over here now. I'm just increasing the red up here in the color palette. So then I'm going to grab the paintbrush tool. Right click. Soft round. I'm going to squeeze the shape a little bit here. There we go. Enter. Opacity. Turn it way down. Okay. And I'm simply going to just add a little bit of red right there. Okay. I want it to be thin enough that I don't lose detail. Okay. Paintbrush. Okay, I might even add just even more red. So I'm going to go all the way to bright red. What up, Ms. Ryan?
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. I think we're all tired of sitting.
I was super tired of sitting.
Now, teeth. We want to make these teeth a little bit wider. I'm not going to worry about straightening teeth right now. You certainly can if you want to. It's a lot of work. First thing I'm going to do is just get rid of this little bit of a chip on our tooth, and I'm going to use the spot healing tool. Oh my gosh, get out of here. There we go. Get rid of that.
Oh, that's so cool.
Get rid of that chip right there. I wonder if we could just add lip right here using this tool. No, made it worse. The tooth straightener, I got rid of the shadow, but we're going to keep it. It's endearing. Okay, so I'm gonna grab that there. I'm gonna grab my color selection tool. I'm gonna select the color of the tooth right there, but I'm gonna increase it to a little bit wider. And same thing, I'm gonna grab the paintbrush tool. I'm on the paint layer. Now, one thing I can do to make sure I don't accidentally paint her gums. Watch this. Grab my background layer. Grab my quick select tool. I'm gonna add to it. Just gonna select the teeth. Okay. But I'm gonna grab the minus tool and deselect the gums. There we are. There. This way I don't accidentally paint on the gums. Also, notice how these teeth in the background are dark. If I make those too bright, it will look weird. So I have to make sure I still play with the shadows. It won't look natural. So I'm going to come back through here and just paint a little bit of white on these teeth. Now this works right here. I'm going to change the direction of my paintbrush to that. There we go. Now I'm going to take some bright white and add just a little more contrast to it. I'm going to rotate the shape of my brush. And again, guys, I'm showing this a little quicker so you guys can start playing. Okay, so just increase a little bit of whiteness there. And when you guys are drawing in Photoshop, if you have little marching ants, the little selection tool, it will only draw in that section. Okay, so far, a little bit of red and a little bit of white, so nice. Select, deselect. Now I'm gonna start adding some reds to her skin here. So I'm gonna grab my Band-Aid tool.
Have fun.
I'm gonna take this, I like this pink hue on her forehead here. So I'm gonna take that there, grab the paintbrush tool, right click, open, a little bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit, there we go. And I'm just gonna knock that highlight down. Okay, I'm just adding a little bit of pink to this here. Knock that highlight down. Just move my layer. So far, guys, that's what we've done. That's what we've painted so far. Okay. I'm gonna zoom in. Grab my paintbrush here. Change the size a little bit. No. Okay. Smaller paintbrush. Just adding some pink hue to knock down those highlights just a little bit. Now the same can be true if you wanted to add makeup, right? I'm gonna make an extra layer here just because I don't want to mess this up. Now, given our model is like, hey, I'm not wearing a lot of eyeshadow, we don't want to add eyeshadow. However, sometimes it's like, oh, I'm going to take a picture of my model and it's just going to be base. And then I'm going to add literally everything to it. So what I can do for that, if I wanted to add eyeshadow, now here's the deal. I don't know a lot about eyeshadow. I have worn it, but I don't know how to apply it. I don't know what looks best. I know there's like a smoky eye thing where it changes where the gradient of the eye is, but I'm not good at eyeshadow in real life. So that does put me at a disadvantage if I'm going to add eyeshadow to my model. But I'm just gonna pick a blue color, which I don't know how well that matches her skin tone. We're just gonna do it for fun. I'm gonna take my brush, shrink it down, rotate it a little bit. Oh. I could go through here. Now you guys know how eyeshadow should work. It should accentuate shadows and it will change colors a little bit given its perspective. Okay, I've got a little bit of wash onto her eyelashes, which I'm going to clear up here. Okay, rotate this here. I do encourage you guys, you can do one horrible photo if you're like, yeah, Mr. Wiggins, I got to make my sibling look ridiculous. If you got to do that, sometimes you got to get it out of your system. But be careful, it's not very nice. Okay, so now I'm going to take a slightly darker version of this. Smaller brush. And just tuck a little bit of that darker. And again, I'm pretty sure you can rotate and shift your brushes in Pixlr. Actually, it's not quite dark enough. There we go. There we go. Okay, so if I wanted to, there you go. We now have eye makeup on our model. Okay, now obviously you should put it on both eyeballs if that's what you're going for. Okay, let's see here. We did a little bit of teeth work, did a little bit of skin work here. The highlight on the nose is kind of frustrating. I want less highlight. That has nothing to do with the model. It has everything to do with the photographer. To fix that, I'm going to go ahead and grab the patch tool. And we're just going to say less highlight. There we go. I'm going to grab the highlight on the bridge of the nose. And we're going to say just add a little bit of pink to it there. There we go. Tones that down. I kind of missed some spots on the nose here. There, that's a little more even. Select, deselect. Now, eyebrows. I want to increase the amount of eyebrow over here. So what are we going to do? Zoom in. Now, there is an eyebrow tool. I can take the eyebrow tool and literally draw an eyebrow, hair by hair by hair by hair. But if I don't have an eyebrow tool, I can do this here. I'm going to select our model's eyebrow. Now, I did a huge photo shoot of giant pictures. Now, if you are in class, this is something we would do if we were in class. See that picture up there? That's a giant photo. It's a poster size. When you photograph people's faces that close, it really shows blemishes. I did one of a teacher's teacher, and she didn't have her eyebrows done, and there was just so many little eyebrow hairs. She's like, get that out of here. So I had to go back through and re-edit all those out. So what I'm going to do, I've selected the eyebrow. I'm going to do Control-C as copy, Control-V as paste. Now, I have an extra eyebrow. Woo! Okay, here we go. I'm going to grab Quick Select tool. Undo. I'm going to try to take just, there's ways to do this more complicated. I'm trying to do this in a Pixlr friendly way. Delete, undo. Let's do this here. I'm going to select some eyebrowness. I'm going to try to get rid of some of this skin tone in here. But if I just hit delete, it's going to be a hard cut. All right, so for example, if I just hit delete, it's really choppy. I don't want that. So I believe you can do this in Pixlr. I'm going to go to Select, Modify, Feather. And that's just going to smooth it out, kind of blend it out. So I'm going to go Select, Deselect. I'm going to get rid of it. Grab my eraser tool. I'm going to grab an ugly looking brush. Okay. Oh, geez. Nope. Not quite what I wanted there. Oh, that's a paintbrush. What am I doing? Eraser. I'll take this one here. Good. So I don't want it to be a circle, so that's why I'm grabbing this interesting looking brush here. Turn that down. There you go. I'm just going to go through and kind of smooth out this eyebrow a little bit. Obviously, we don't want it on her forehead. It's not where an eyebrow goes. There we go. Smooth that out a little bit. Bring it. Oh, dang it. Undo. I grabbed, where's the eyebrow? Found it. Got it. What am I doing? Oh, I did it again. Undo. I keep moving my paint layer. Grab that brush. Get the eyebrow. No. I want this one. So I have it on auto select. Let's just hide this. Yeah, there you go, sucker. Okay, so I'm gonna bring the eyebrow down here. I'm gonna go to edit, transform. Now I'm gonna go to rotate. I would typically just hit Control T. Okay. Bring the eyebrow down like that, hit OK. There we go. Grab the eraser tool. Blend it just a little bit. Okay, go down to the original layer here. Grab the healing brush tool. Nope. Spot healing brush tool. Shrink it down even more. I'm going to try to get rid of any of these little stray eyebrow hairs. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay. Healing brush tool. All right. Fit on screen. Okay, so there's the painting we've added. If I grab that eyebrow I made and put the eyebrow up here as well, there's the eyebrow we've added. And we've liquefied it. So we have done a lot of stuff to this portrait. Now remember, this is the original. This is the new one. Okay, they're subtle. So what you guys are going to do, you're going to do a couple things. Where are we going? We're going over here. We're going over here. Okay, we're going over here. All right, there it is. That was a long demo. I'm sorry. Remember that there are image goals. Make your subject look as good as possible in regards to the image they're putting out. So that's the goal. Task you must complete to earn your turn to edit portraits. My gosh. 60 minutes. We're going to take the rest of the class. We're going to check in every 20. Get your images from the handout section from today. You're going to edit one masculine image and one feminine image. So we have this image here. I was trying to find a picture of Ronald, but I couldn't find it on this computer, so it must be on an old computer. He's a gentleman behind me. I got a couple other ones. So this is a new computer, so I had a lot of images missing. So this is going to be our masculine edit. There are all sorts of ways you can approach this here. I would work on maybe some of the wisps on his forehead. I'd work on some of the acne. I would maybe soften the eyes a little bit. Now, again, if you guys know who, he was in Gran Torino, old guy. You don't want to make old people's face look too smooth, right? It looks strange. So you want to think about what is best for my model. So, you know, I kind of like these little pouches under the eyes, and I like the little wrinkles here. I love the dimple in the cheek. I wouldn't get rid of those things. So you're going to have to look. You might want to make, I would make his skin tone a little bit warmer. How are you, Mr.
Huh?
Like all my screens. Too much fun.
How many people are here?
There's 2.
How many people are supposed to be?
3. That's not bad.
I have 3, so it's a 4.
Oh, hey, there you go. Now, I personally would make his skin tone a little warmer. This is kind of a cold skin tone. That's just because the photographer is trying to make it look more urban, hence the city in the background. So they went cool tones. I think warm tones would look nice, so you can kind of play with that. Play with the color correction, things like that. We did that with the animals. Okay, so edit a feminine image and a masculine image. I would go ahead and just do one of Jordan first, just because I demoed that. It's a lot easier to play with it. Okay, so that's what we're going to do for the rest of the class, is just edit these. Tomorrow, you are going to photograph yourself or somebody, and you're going to edit them and turn it in before and after. If we only get through Jordan today, that's okay. If you want to do the male image today and not Jordan, that's okay as well. Just pick one. I would love if you could edit both. Okay, but I'm open to shifts. All right. So I'm going to put this on my face. Let's see what we got going on here. Questions.